Well, this is going to be the subject of today's little bit of work on here and a little bit of checking out on seeing how it's going. This is the workhorse. This is the one that sits on the back porch and is completely neglected all the time, and just gets it just gets run hard and put up wet, and yeah, it gets dirty and grungy as a result because it's up there and all the cooking greases and smells, and stuff gets baked onto the vent and everything else like that. And it's just, yeah, but you know what? And that's the other thing too. What I do with this is that I do not use colon fuel in here. I use Bucky's ethanol-free gasoline. And I've been doing that for quite a while, and it works just fine. I haven't had any problems with it. But what I've noticed doing lately is doing a little bit of kind of like chugging, you know, sort of like a little bit of what we'd heard with the 236, but much slower. So I was thinking to myself, well, I've got quite a few hours of runtime on this. I wonder what the shape of the cardboard tube in the generator is like. And then I just kind of said, well, people probably would also like to know, it's like if you've got a generator that you've been running just pump gas through, how bad is it? How fouled up is it? Is it just completely destroyed and ruined and everything else? And, you know, because everyone feels that you put any kind of pump gas in a Coleman lantern, it's going to just fail like within a tank or so. And plainly, that's not the case, because I've been running a lot through here. And not only that, Frank from Old Town Coleman ran, I forget how many gallons and gallons of Costco gas through his before they both basically failed at the same time. And when I say both, one of them was fired with only Coleman fuel, the other one was fired with pump gas. And I've gone a step further in using ethanol free in here, so it doesn't really gum up the font nearly as much, or the other internal workings, because since there's no ethanol in it, it is not going to attract water and then cause corrosion and all this other kind of nasty things that comes along with getting water in your fuel. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and take a look to see exactly how bad it is, right? So I have to crank this loose because it is really quite tight on here. I thought I had my other thing, but we'll just use this. Oh, it's still not wanting to come loose. A little tighter. There it goes. Okay. These things just automatically get tighter. I do not put them on that tight because I really don't want to damage anything here, but I think it's the temperature expansion, the temperature changes from going hot to cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, tends to kind of tighten up the nut a bit. So for whatever reason, I am having to use pliers when I get it out. And it's not because it's frozen on there or rusted. It comes right off. But nonetheless, that's what's happened. So, and the other thing is, yeah, this one is like, it is completely completely come apart, so the vent just kind of sits on there nowadays. So it's just, like I said, it's a hard working lantern, and I think eventually what I'm going to do is maybe I'll use this for my experimenting in trying to re-spot weld this. And someone apparently, I think, has tried before, because you can see that it went through on the other side, but it didn't obviously stay. But I just set it on there, and that's fine. So really, the point of what we're trying to do here is just remove the generator without messing up the mantles. The way that the mantles are sitting next to this, I hope I can do that. So we'll see. It's pretty close in there, so hopefully it'll come off without too much trouble. And we'll do this. Okay, got that. We're going to put the needle in the up position so we can easily get this out of here. I'm going to have my, I have a set of little, I thought I had some needle nosers here, but they may have got away from me. But nonetheless, we'll use this to, oh, here, this is even better. Set of tweezers. I just want to be able to get this up and get it disconnected without without damaging the mantles if I can. So that is the goal here. So get that to go up a little bit higher, and then pull the pin out like that. So far so good. We're touching the mantles, but we're not breaking them yet. Drop that down. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, looking to see what we've got up here. There's maybe, is there a little carbon built up here? No, not really. It looks fine. It doesn't really look any more unusual than any other generator. So we'll pull that out. Yeah, we've got some carbon buildup in there. Yep, there's some on the rod, so that's fine. We can get that cleaned up. I will. I'm gonna take the gas tip off of here, which I thought I had a proper wrench for, but I'm not sure if I do. Nope, not that. I got one for the really small ones, but not for the big ones, so we're gonna have to use the crescent. So we'll take off the gas tip with that. If it decides to come loose, which it doesn't want to. Yeah, I'm just not getting that really good purchase on it. So let's see what we can do here to get this out without having to get this in here. Come on. Maybe a little hook. Yeah, this will hook it. Yeah, I really need to get the end of this off. So I think what I try to do is put this in here, not breaking any globes along the way, right? Get that clamped down in here, and then maybe I can get a little bit more purchase on this to get it spun loose. Oh, it doesn't want to come loose though. So the last time I had this happen, I did this. Although this is going to be a little more challenging because of the flare on the end to be able to get that off. And this is current production, a 220, 228 generator. So there's nothing special about this one. When I got this lantern, I just replaced it. And yeah, so how can I get this on here without breaking it or flattening it? Because if I put too much pressure on the tube, it's gonna flatten because they're quite thin. Yeah, let's see. Maybe up at the top end of this, it is a little sturdier, I hope. So we're gonna try putting a little bit of pressure on it here. There she goes. So it's just a little bit of obviously carbon buildup in the threads, but that's the gas tip. Of course, I didn't get much chance to look at it, but it doesn't look anything out of the unusual. There's no blobs of goo or anything like that. I mean, and I've been running a lot of pump gas through here. So now the trick is getting this out of here, and it doesn't want to move that much. Kind of does. I mean, it's bouncing around inside there. So I just need to get a little better grip on it, or I can get maybe a drill bit and stick it down the other end and push it out from the top. So we'll try that. We got one of these here that fit in there. Probably not small enough. Go down the next size. Still not quite small enough. I have limited amounts of smallness here. See that? Yeah, I can feel that the spring is springy in there, but it is definitely not wanting to come out. So, but it's loose. So there's something else that's kind of gumming it up in there. Yeah, I really wanted to be able to get that cardboard tube out. But I think what we're seeing here is that we're probably, let's see if I try spinning it around some, probably in a situation where we need to soak this, but if I do soak it, it's going to wreck the tube, and I don't have another tube. So let me just try spinning it and see if that will convince it to come loose. Which, it's spinning both ways, but it's just not coming. So it feels like the cardboard tube is solidly affixed to the sides of it, so I can't really get it out without damaging the tube there. So maybe I can, yeah, see, now I'm just messing stuff up because the tube, I think, is kind of disintegrated. So this is one of the problems that I have with these tubes, is that they do what they're supposed to do, but unfortunately they're not very durable. And this is not because of the type of fuel that I'm running. I mean, I've had them disintegrate with regular Coleman fuel too. Just kind of blow some of that out of there. I mean, everything is loose and moving around except for the tube, which is just welded itself to the inside. So I think that what this kind of shows us that, well, for one, this is after having countless amounts of pump gas in here. So you can see that there is some carbon buildup on there, but just not a whole lot. And that kind of level of carbon buildup is easily solvable with just a little application of some steel wool here, and that will clean all that right off. So I look at it this way: when you're putting pump gas in there, and you're paying, well, now probably more than $4 a gallon. That's what it was before all the fuel prices went very crazy on us. But at any rate, if you're paying that amount, and that's half of probably what you're paying for the Coleman fuel at the moment. So just gonna kind of scrape this down with a razor blade. I've kind of I modified this razor blade to be able to clean my handy gas plant. And I had a problem with lead in the slots of the burner. And so what I did is that I needed to be able to saw it out, but I didn't have anything that was really small that I could saw it out with. And so what I did is I just made a serrated razor blade, which is exactly what I'm using here now. So I used a little small grinding tip to grind some notches into the edge of the razor blade. And so that allowed me to kind of saw it. I didn't attempt to set the blades one way or another. I just wanted to have notches in there. But these notches also work well when they fit right on the generator here to clean off all that carbon. And so anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that, like, this is cheap and easy maintenance to be able to use fuel at half the cost, and that is what we're doing. So that is what we're gonna do. So that is as far as I think I'm gonna take this. I mean, there's some crud coming out of it. So what I want to do with this is that eventually I will get the spring out of here, not on this particular show, but I know what I need to do. I need to order a new tube, a little cardboard tube, put that in there, and then get the spring out of there. Probably just ended up soaking in water, throwing in the ultrasonic, which will break it loose, get it to come out, replace the tube, and then we'll see if that doesn't solve the pulsing problem, which it probably will. I've heard some other people comment on other episodes that I've put up, and they've talked about using bronze wool packing inside of here, and I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, because once it's in there, it's not going to like disintegrate, and it should hopefully, whatever's in there should be able to kind of burn off to a certain extent rather than, you know, be part of the problem. So I think all we're going to do right here is that we're just going to reassemble, and carefully, ever so carefully, and to not wreck our mantles in the process. Of course, the pricker rod is immediately falling right out and causing me great angst. Okay, let's try to get this in here without breaking things. I have a feeling I'm getting really close to breaking something. Okay, we get this. Get this spun around. And you can also kind of see here how these mantles have burned a long time, and they are really quite hard. So even though I'm kind of banging into them a fair bit, they're not breaking. And I wish I could spin this just a little bit more so it goes right in there. Come on, baby. Get in there. There, nope. That's missing. Yeah, this is like the thrilling part of the show. Okay, there we go. Now we're in. Nothing's broken. Get this screwed back down, and we'll see how she lights up. Maybe it'll burn a little better. Maybe. I have a feeling that the second that we start it here, it's going to kind of almost immediately plug, because I've dislodged a whole bunch of stuff, but we'll see what happens. I don't know how much fuel I've got in this thing. Not a whole lot. There it goes. Well, I think I'm actually almost out of fuel, because I can't hear it spitting. Do this. And there, it just plugged up. Yeah, let's try this again. Yeah, it's almost instantly plugging. All right, there we go. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff from that cardboard tube in there that's gotten dislodged, and is obviously causing some issues with this, but it still runs pretty good, but it is almost completely empty of fuel. It's extremely light, so I don't know how long this is going to actually run, but as you can see, it's running just fine with no problem with those with the pump gas on it. Just need to get a new tube in there. Anyway, so you can see right now it's not pulsing or doing anything like that, but after it runs a while it tends to do that, and that makes sense, because as this gets hot and it starts trying to reflux that fuel back down, and that the tube isn't providing the resistance because it's, you know, disintegrated or damaged or whatever, then you start hearing that kind of pulsing going on. So at any rate, need to get that cleaned out, and then we'll see how it looks the next time around. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep them lit.